concatenation of Melina's existential recalibration post-divorce with the streamer destiny emerges as an odyssey of transcendent self-actualization and metaphysical purgation. Within the maelstrom of Miami's ephemeral glamour and the gilded artifices of ersatz camaraderie, her narrative transmutes into a peripatetic sojourn through the ontological wilderness.
Like, the person I'm with now is the best person in the whole world. I have never... Wow. This person is so good to me. And then the whole acting thing is so nice. You know, like, just being able, like, to dare to do that and go that route. And the people that I met through that is so nice. Like, I'm surrounded by people that want the same thing as me and that values the same stuff as me. So I'm like, this is so good. Sometimes there's people from the past that's contacting me, and they're like, oh, this crazy thing happened, and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, why are you focusing on this? You know? Why are you wasting your time thinking about these things? I think when things came out, what was it, like last week or something? It was like, oh, okay, now I can talk about how I felt back then. Because I feel like that was an experience that I don't want to talk about. But from a point of view where it's like, this is what I felt. And not about the drama. Because I don't care about that, you know? Thank you. Can I ask you somewhat personal question about how you might feel now versus before? Sure. Oh, you have someone now who's good to you. That's awesome, but envious, but that's just because I want the same thing from someone. Too many people focusing on the money and attention instead of affection and love. It's so crazy. Like, the world lacks so much love. I said this to my grandma. She was like, yes. The world is so filled with selfish people that are... They're running after this, like, attention, money, I don't know, this image of being smart, and it's like it's kind of like people are praising being cold as well. People are praising being stoic and cold, and that's not why humans survive, you know? Humans have survived because of love, and for taking care of each other and helping each other out. People are thinking so independently and praising that so hard, and that's not what you do in life. You're missing out on a lot of things if you go through life like that. And I feel like when you were younger, you found Sweden Nordic kind of boring, and then you wanted to excitement, maybe even drama, and now it's like you overdosed it on a lifetime and you appreciate Sweden. Peace. Not really like that. Here's the thing, when I grew up in the Nordics, I was surrounded by the wrong people. And I felt that, and I thought, if I leave, I will find things that's better for me. And in some ways I did, in some ways I didn't. When I went to New Zealand, I had a really cool, you know, life, but it wasn't very deep in some ways. Like, it didn't reach me very deep, emotionally, you know. I just met people, and this was cool, and this was fun, and I had good memories. But here, when I get to have my own stuff, first of all, and have my own job, when I can like work whenever I want to, I can be creative however I want. I get to work with other really creative people in the film industry and acting, so that's, now I feel a lot more at home, and I'm very picky with who I'm with and like who I'm spending my time with. Back then I wasn't. Back then I had the mentality that I needed to be friends with everybody, that I don't have any boundaries, that I should always say yes to everyone, even though I might not like it. Like, I had a very weird view of I needed to please everyone around me all the time. Now I don't have that. Now I'm like, I don't like this, I'm gonna put my foot down, you know? And I'm not gonna spend time with someone just because they asked and I kind of feel like meh about it. I feel a lot more, I'm gonna spend time with you if I genuinely enjoy being with you. And I feel like we're on the same page, and we're friends for the same reasons. Because some people might be friends with you because of your numbers and money or attention or whatever, or it's good for your image. And some people actually just want to be friends with you because they legit like being with you. It's kind of hard to find that now. It's kind of crazy. So yeah, that's kind of how I see it. You're not reading my comment. What are you saying? Are you broken? Why are you asking that? No. Selfish is not the problem itself. But they're not my problem. Yeah, but that is selfish. That is selfish. I always thought that stuff was on stream personas, but you're saying these people are like that off stream. yeah, of course, you can't pretend like that. They are the same. Okay, can we be best friends or something? You're speaking my language and I need people like you in my life. Well, you have it here in chat. I think it's important you will find them. For some reason you came here because you felt the vibe. Follow that. You're gonna find people like that around you. They exist. But you kind of need to, how do I say it? It's not even find. You need to kind of show that energy that's how you feel. That these are the things that you find important. When you show that and your actions are like that, you kind of start building yourself to become that person you want to be friends with. And what will happen is that people will see that and you'll find each other. Just automatically. Like magnets. Isn't Twitch 100% scripted? Felt a little materialistic or kind of fake. It's all about image and being smart. And being right. Very important. I can't speak for anyone else but here, but lately I've been focusing on faith and God more, being closer to Him. And not anyways, my thoughts, please don't call me a fanatic. Here's the thing. I feel like a few years ago I would be like, oh, you believe in God? That's like some fairy tale stuff. I think believing in God is a good mentality. Does that make sense? Like, if you believe, because there's so many things that could be in the Bible or whatever, but if you're like, you know what, I want to be a good person. I want to focus on things that I find morally good. I want to be a good person. I want to be around good people. This is the sort of lifestyle that I want to live. I think that's actually fantastic. And I think praying is the same thing as meditating. I think it is. I think it's like you are focusing on things in life that matters to you.
Wherein she casts aside the gossamer illusions of performative affiliations for the luminescent praxis of authentic relationality. Her disassociation from the neon bacchanalia of Miami, a city whose ethos pulsates with the lurid cadences of hypermaterialism and hedonistic apotheosis, embodies not merely a geographic relocation, but an anabasis of the soul. The phantasmagoria of false friendships, whose sustenance derives not from substantive rapport, but from the commodification of social capital, is eschewed with the resoluteness of a phoenix incinerating its Pyrrhic past to unfurl plumage anew. Miami's milieu, steeped in the Sisyphean pursuit of image cultivation and sartorial bravado, stands anathematic to the newfound ethos Melina espouses, a life predicated upon the axioms of sincerity, unalloyed affection, and intrinsic value. In the crucible of emotional reconstitution, Melina extirpates the insidious weeds of her erstwhile proclivity for pleasantry at the expense of self-integrity. Her evolution from a conciliatory doormat to a paragon of empowered discernment underscores a repudiation of the puerile desideratum to placate. No longer shackled by the delusive mandate of universal approbation, she emerges as an arbiter of her social sphere, curating affiliations with surgical precision to ensure congruence with her reinvigorated value schema. Such a metamorphosis is not devoid of philosophical profundity. It is a reification of the Aristotelian telos, wherein the eudaimonic life is achieved not through unbridled social proliferation, but through the cultivation of philia, those reciprocal bonds forged in the crucible of mutual respect and shared purpose. Her discernment delineates the demarcation between parasitic interlopers who siphon vitality under the guise of camaraderie and the rarefied few whose presence nurtures. The thematic leitmotif of Melina's journey is her dalliance with the cathartic and redemptive power of creative expression, particularly through acting. The theatrical milieu, a sanctum for kindred spirits who extol the virtues of artistic authenticity, provides the fertile soil for her resurgent identity to germinate. In this dramaturgical agora, she finds solace and solidarity among aspirants whose aspirations align symphonically with her own, eschewing the cacophony of egoistic self-promotion for the mellifluous harmonies of collective creation. The vicissitudes of her newfound relational ethos are also emblematic of a repudiation of the calcified paradigms of Western hyper-individualism. Melina's advocacy for communal solidarity and emotional symbiosis serves as an antithesis to the stoic valorization of cold, unyielding independence. She illuminates the paradox of modernity, a world enraptured by the optics of success, yet impoverished in its capacity for genuine human connection. Her critique of this societal ailment draws upon the ancient Hellenic ethos of agape, selfless, unconditional love, as the cornerstone of a life well lived. Melina's reverence for simplicity and the unadulterated pleasures of Nordic serenity represents a thematic volte-face from her erstwhile intoxication with the frenetic allure of dramatized existence. In embracing the pastoral rhythms of Nordic existence, she channels the spirit of Rousseauian romanticism, wherein the idyllic tableau of unspoiled nature serves as an antidote to the existential malaise wrought by urban excess and relational dissonance. Her reflections on her Nordic roots transcend mere nostalgia. They signify a recalibration of values, a reversion to the ontological mean, and a repudiation of the Faustian pact demanded by modernity's gilded promises. Her narrative is punctuated by an epistemological epiphany, the realization that authentic existence necessitates boundaries, discernment, and intentionality. The chimerical allure of unbounded social expansiveness gives way to a commitment to cultivating depth over breadth in her relationships. This shift mirrors the philosophical insights of the Stoics, who advocate for a disciplined life of purpose and virtue, eschewing the ephemeral in favor of the eternal. Central to her philosophical reawakening is her critique of the societal idolization of cold rationalism and intellectual posturing. She indicts a culture that venerates stoicism and dismisses vulnerability as a weakness, elucidating the fundamental incongruity of such values with the evolutionary imperatives of human cooperation and emotional connectivity. Her invocation of love as the sine qua non of human survival serves as a clarion call to reorient societal priorities from the pursuit of individual accolades to the cultivation of collective well-being. Her musings on faith and spirituality add a metaphysical dimension to her journey. The invocation of God and the analogizing of prayer to meditation illustrate her embrace of transcendental practices as a mechanism for fostering introspection and ethical intentionality. In doing so, she challenges the secular orthodoxy that marginalizes spirituality, advocating instead for its integration as a pillar of holistic well-being. Melina's reflections on past dramas and their persistent interlocutors underscore her commitment to living in the present, unburdened by the detritus of yesteryear. Her detachment from the puerile theatrics of bygone conflicts is emblematic of her broader repudiation of superficialities. Her indifference to the petty machinations of those clinging to the vestiges of past entanglements signifies a transcendence of ego and a commitment to existential authenticity. The philosophical undertones of her narrative coalesce into a cogent of the contemporary zeitgeist. She denounces the myopic fixation on material wealth and social clout, elucidating the existential vacuity inherent in such pursuits. Her advocacy for a values-based life anchored in genuine connections and creative fulfillment serves as both a rebuke of and a remedy for the enemy of modernity. Melina's Odyssey is an exemplar of the perennial quest for meaning amidst the cacophony of a disenchanted world. Her journey from the tumult of Miami's social vortex to the tranquil embrace of Nordic simplicity is not merely a geographic migration, but a metaphysical pilgrimage. It is a testament to the transformative power of introspection, discernment, and the unyielding pursuit of a life imbued with authenticity and purpose. This essay, the transformation Melina embodies, serves as a poignant reminder that the truest riches are not to be found in material accumulation or social adulation, but in the quiet moments of unfeigned human connection and the pursuit of one's innermost passions.